Yes. What's going on, guys and girls? My name is Ben, aka Day Trading Addict, and I have a good video for you guys today. Today, we're going to talk about 5 amazing supply and demand tricks they don't want you to know. Trust me, you're going to love this one. So let's go. Okay, so today we are going to talk about different ways I look at supply and demand when I'm trading the markets, okay? And I believe these ways are going to help you, especially if you are a beginner. Now, before we go to the first one, a lot of you guys might be new to my channel. So what is supply and demand? Supply and demand is basically aggressive buying or aggressive selling, okay? And the reason why we are looking for that is because we have big players in the market. And these big players usually push up the market or push down the market. So when they are in the market and we can tell that they are in the market, we want to follow them, okay? Because they move the market. So that's pretty much the whole concept. All right, so let's go to the first one. The first one is using supply and demand when the market is reversing. I love using supply and demand when the market is reversing. It works very well, okay? So it doesn't matter what you use for reversal. Right now, I'm going to show you guys a nice double top, but it doesn't matter what reversal pattern you are using. You know, it works really good when the market is reversed. So let's go to the first example real quick. So right here, guys, we clearly have a nice double top right here, okay? But what do we see first? We see supply. We have aggressive selling right here, okay? Now, every time you see aggressive selling or aggressive buying, you want to draw a zone on it, okay? So right here, I'm looking to draw my zone. And if you don't know how to draw your zone, I do have a video on that. I think it's called Supply and Demand in 10 minutes. So you can check that out. But basically, you want to, start at the candle that pretty much started to move, okay? There's different ways I'm going to show you guys later, but let me show you guys this example. So we have this nice double top plus supply. When I see this, I want to be a seller, okay? So I actually took this trade. So when I saw the market come here, I went short, okay? I didn't go short at the first candle. I went short right here. This red candle right here. This is where I went short. And basically, I rolled this baby all the way back down to here. So when the market is reversing, I love supply and demand, especially if the market is very clear. So let me show you guys another example. Now, this example is a head and shoulders, okay? So the reason why they call it the head and shoulders is because we have a head right here. We have a left shoulder right here. And we have a right shoulder right here, okay? So anytime you have a head and shoulders, it's a possibility that the market might create supply or demand. So right here, the market is selling off right here. See this aggressive selling, okay? So we wait for the market to come back to that supply. So what we want to do is draw our zone, okay? And notice how it came right back to that supply. Now we want to go short, okay, for that nice reversal. Again, I'm showing you guys a reversal example because I love trading supply and demand when the market is reversing, right? So how do you get in? You can get in multiple ways. You can get in as soon as it comes to the supply zone or the demand zone. I don't really recommend that. Usually I look for some type of confirmation. So I look for any type of weak candlestick or a bearish candlestick if the market's going down, or a bullish candlestick if the market's going up. All right, so let's go to the second trick. The second one is using supply and demand for a continuation trade. So let me show you guys a quick example. Okay, so right here, guys, we have a clear move to the upside, right? It's very clear. So let me zoom in real quick. So basically, we are looking for a nice continuation. So right here, we have a nice demand because when the market pulled back right here, okay, basically we had a good amount of buying right here, right? And then we waiting for the market to, pull back to that demand zone, right? And we look for a continuation. So this is a very clear example when it comes to taking a continuation trade, because the market is clear, it's going straight up, and you're looking for that first demand, coming to that demand level, so you can take that continuation trade to the upside. So I'm going to show you guys another example of the continuation trade. But before I do that, I do have a supply and demand indicator. I don't really talk about this indicator that much because, I tell you guys you don't really need it, because once you learn price action, you can spot supply and demand on your own. But if you are a beginner and you want to use it, let me show you guys a quick example. So right here, guys, basically we have demand right here, but the market never pulled back to this demand, okay? but we do have demand right here, all right? Now, when you see these long confirmations, they are for, beginners to help you out if you need confirmation to get in the market. They're not really signals, but, they give you like a little bit more confidence to get in the market. So right here, the market pulled back to that demand area right here, okay? And again, once you see that, okay, it's a possibility that we can go long. So notice how we have that D, that stands for demand, right? And again, it came back to this demand right here, okay? Gave you a nice long confirmation, and then it went up. So again, this is for beginners if you want to get your feet wet. So let me show you guys another example of a continuation trade. Okay guys, so here's another example right here. Clearly the market is going down right here. You see the market's going down, so we're looking for a nice continuation trade, right? So let me zoom in real quick. So basically right here we have supply, okay? So we want to draw our supply, okay, right here. Now this supply, I'm gonna draw it from the bottom right here, okay, of that candle to the top of this candle right here, okay? Now the reason why I'm doing that because we have candles around this supply, okay? And a lot of times you would notice the market will never come back to that first candle that started the whole move. It will come back maybe to one of the candles that's around it. So you want to basically make sure your zone, covers all those candles. So notice how it came back to the zone, gave you a nice little bearish bar right here, nice short to the downside, okay? And again, it gave you another supply right here for another continuation trade to the downside. So what we're looking for when it comes to continuation trades, we're looking for a clear picture, and then we're looking for a trade at supply or demand, all right? And let me show you guys the indicator. All right, so here's the indicator, guys. So basically, we had supply right here, but the market didn't come here. Then we had that supply that I talked about right here. Gave you a nice little short confirmation, boom. Then we have another supply right here, give you another short confirmation, boom. So again, if you want to get your feet wet, this is a supply and demand indicator. Now, a lot of people ask me, how do I get that? It comes with my program for free, okay? So once you get the program, it comes with it for free, and that's the only way you can get this, okay? You can't get this from nowhere else because I have to manually put you in the system, okay? So you have to email me, and I have to check to see if you really bought the course, and then from there, I have to put you in the system manually, all right? So let's go to the third trick, and the third one is trading a broken supply or demand zone. So let me show you guys a quick example. All right, so right here we have a demand zone, okay? Because we have this nice aggressive buying right here. It came back to that demand zone. This is why I tell you guys, it's best to look for a confirmation. Now notice how the market just blew past that demand, okay? So they broke the zone, so it came back to what? Support now turned into resistance. Okay, so you can use this right here, guys, for a nice trade, okay, to the downside. If you see the market is breaking a demand zone or a supply zone, it comes back to resistance, use that for a nice trade. Or what you can do is you can wait for the next supply zone. So right here, we broke that demand zone. Now, after that, if they create a supply zone, since the market's going down now, all right, so right here, we have a supply zone right here. Look. Okay, supply zone right here. So now since we have that supply zone, we can wait for that next available supply zone and take that trade to the downside, because now you can tell the market is weak. It's not respecting that demand zone. So most likely they want to go down. All right. So let me show you guys another example. Okay, so here's another example, guys. We have a demand zone right here, and the market just blew past that demand zone. Now we can wait for the market to either go to this support, turn into resistance, or wait for the market to go to a supply zone, and it did right here. So we have a nice supply zone right here, right? We have a nice aggressive selling right here. It came right back to it, and we look for our sell to the downside, okay? So that is an excellent way to get in the market once you see the market not respecting a demand zone. That could mean that, the market is weak and they want to continue to go down. So you just look for another supply, or vice versa. If the market is going up, you look for a demand, all right? So let's go to the fourth trick. And the fourth one is trading a supply and demand zone when it breaks it a little bit, okay? Let me show you guys a quick example. All right, so right here, guys, we have supply, okay? Now, we are waiting for the market to come back to the supply zone right here, okay? It tried to touch it right here, but it didn't. Finally came back to supply right here. We don't get a good signal right here, and it blew past it. But notice how, let me just zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. Notice how it only went up just a little bit. Remember the last examples I showed you that it blew past supply and demand, right? But this one, it just went up just a little bit and came right back down. So the way I look at this is the supply zone is still valid to me. I know a lot of people don't trade supply and demand like that, but me, I've been trading for 14 years. So I realize if it just breaks the supply or demand zone a little bit, I'm taking a trade, okay? So we have a nice bearish bar or even this nice rejection bar right here. I get in the trade and I'm looking for my profits, okay? So let me show you guys one more example. Okay, guys, so here's another example right here. We have a demand zone right here, guys, all right? And let me zoom in so you guys can see. Notice how it broke it a little bit, right? It broke the zone a little bit and then popped back up. To me, the zone is still intact. And I will still take a trade and look for my profits to the upside, all right? So let's go to the fifth one, guys. And number 5 is combining supply and demand with other levels, all right? This is a big one because you can use supply and demand, but if you combine it with other levels, you know, man, it's a game changer. So let me show you guys a quick example. So right here, guys, we are going to combine supply and demand with a trend line. So right here, we have a nice trend line, okay? And then plus we have supply right here. Nice aggressive selling. So let me zoom in for you guys, okay? So what you can do, draw your zone, wait for the market to come back to supply. As soon as it hit that supply, we had a nice rejection. To me, that's good enough, okay? And I'm in the market. So again, we are combining supply and demand with another level, okay? It could be trend lines, it could be support and resistance, it can be Fibonacci, it can be whatever level you want to use. It doesn't matter, okay? As long as you can combine it and you see supply and demand at that level, mwah, to me, that's a great high quality trade. All right, so that's all I have for you guys today. Shout out to all the fathers out there. I do have a Father's Day sale going on, so make sure you take advantage of that. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and make sure you join my free Telegram group. That's where I post motivational videos and exclusive discounts for my trading program. And if you don't have my trading program by now, make sure you pick that up. The link is in the description. If you have any questions, you can comment below because I answer all your guys' questions. Thanks a lot for your time, and please have a great day.